everything that you need to know about the Tori Rework coming as a grand piece online. When you equip Tori, you have Hockey at base, so you don't need to turn on Hockey. Your Talons actually have Hockey imbued in them. And your bar heals back 50% of the damage taken. So for example, if you used to take 1000 damage, you would heal back 500 HP after 5 seconds, which means you would essentially heal 100 for every second. And once you get hit by that, it consumes 1 bar and it applies all sources of damage, including the ones that would damage a regular user, Tori's locally bar. And it's capped at 10 bars and it also regens a lot slower. So you only have 10 bars with Tori and it only regens once all of them have been depleted. And you getting hit takes 1 of those bars to heal back the damage that you took from getting hit over time. And just to finally be clear on this, if you take 100 damage, it's going to deplete 1 of your bars, and over the span of 5 seconds you will heal back 50 HP. So you heal 50% of the damage done within 5 seconds is essentially all you have to know, and it just takes 1 bar. When you're inside your non-Phoenix form, you can only use 2 of your skills, your E and your R skill. Your E skill is going to be blockable until the final hit where it does a kick that actually guard breaks. And your R skill, it's going to be blockable because it's just you healing yourself. Moving on from that though, once you go hybrid form, your moves actually change. Your E skill is now going to be a guard break, and this is actually going to be Phoenix brand. It's that kick down move where you just like lock onto your target and then you just aim and kick them down. That's going to be your guard break. Your R skill, which is going to be Immortal Distal, it's pretty much just Tech Eye, but it's implemented into the Tori fruit. If you hold this skill down, you're able to block ultimate attacks, just like what Foyu did, where he was able to block a whole entire Enkai just by holding this down. Your T skill is going to be your heal, and this is now called Phoenix Pyroapple. It essentially just makes a small circle around you since you're in hybrid form, and it allows you to heal your allies if they're standing inside that circle near you. Your X skill is going to be Phoenix Burst. Now in hybrid form, this burst only shoots out 1, so it shoots out 1 singular burst, and this does not guard break. And then your C skill in hybrid mode is actually going to be Tori's new ultimate, which is Phoenix Dive Bomb. It's where you dive down and you swoop up your enemy, hitting them once, and then after that you aim yourself straight down and you just make a huge explosion like a bomb, and it hits twice. And this is also going to be a guard break. Outside of that though, there is a lot of things to know about the hybrid form, and it's way different from the hybrid form now. It's actually pretty interesting because the hybrid form compared to the full form, you'll have an excuse to use both of them. So the first thing to note off about your hybrid mode is that it's actually going to be significantly slower than your full form. I'm pretty sure that you would have already guessed this, but just to be clear, your hybrid mode is going to be way slower than your full form. Another thing to note is that every single skill is also going to do less damage. So let's say that you was to have 300 into Devil Fruit and used to use Phoenix Brand in hybrid mode. If you was to do that, it would only do 78 damage and then a set amount of burn damage. Now, if you was to use Phoenix Dive inside your hybrid mode, it would do 174 damage with 300 points in, and then it would have a certain amount of burn damage. If you was to use Phoenix Burst inside your hybrid mode, still with 300 points in, you would do 55 damage. And don't forget, you only have 1 Phoenix Burst when you're in hybrid. And another new thing to note about the Tori hybrid mode is that you can actually M1 in it. So yeah, I don't know if you can M1 inside the full form of Tori, but you can M1 inside the hybrid form of Tori, as you're able to see. One more thing to also note is that your Talons also have light weapon scaling now instead of medium. So what this means is, I'll show you 3 examples. If you have 500 into sword, 700 into sword, or 1000 into sword. And keep in mind, this is also without electro buffs or bounty buffs, and Hockey does not increase the damage on any skill. So if you have 500 into sword and you're using your Tori Talons, you will do 25 and 30 with Hockey. If you used to have 700 into your sword, you will do 31 and 37 with Hockey on. If you have 1000 into sword, you will do 40 and then 48 with Hockey. And keep in mind, Hockey does not increase the damage on any skill, such as your Phoenix Brand or your Phoenix Burst, but Hockey does increase the damage on your M1s. So since Tori Talons have light weapon scaling, you cannot do a lot of damage per M1 with these Talons. Moving on to your Phoenix full form though, one thing that you will notice is that you do more damage inside your full form versus your hybrid form, and there are a lot more differences. So just to start off, the skills, they're all going to be the same. It's just that your healing skill is actually going to have a wider AoE. So Essentially, your Phoenix Pineapple is just going to get bigger. It's literally just going to be a much larger circle. And another thing to note is that your R skill More Thistle is twice as strong as Tech Eye, and this is being compared to Tech Eye with Hockey. But there is one thing to note about More Thistle: it can block every skill in the game except the pole ultimate. Now, when I say this, it blocks the ultimate, or should I say it blocks the knockback, but the damage still goes. So if you was to use a More Thistle against the pole ultimate, you wouldn't get knocked back, but you would still take as much damage as the pole ultimate does. So those are some things to also know about Tori, and this applies for both the full form and the hybrid. Moving on from that though, another piece of general information about full form is that in full form you can use a move and fly at the same time. So let's say you was to start holding Phoenix Burst, you can hold Phoenix Burst while moving around and flying in full form. And this is a direct upgrade from the Tori right now, because the Tori right now, if you was to try and use Phoenix Burst while flying, it would stop you in the position. You can use skills while flying inside your full form. Another thing to note is that you can also go full form from base. So if you was in base and you want to go full form, you can do that. And if you're in full form and you want to go to hybrid, you can do that. Or if you're in full form and you want to go to base, you can also do that as well. Outside of that though, let me know if I got any information wrong. And if you want to read all of this for yourself, if you go inside the GPO Discord server and you head over to the channel called Dev Answer Thingy, all of the information that I was basically saying to you inside this video is presented here by Kuro. So hey, I appreciate you, Kuro. Shout out to him for actually helping me make this video and just having this information out here. If you want to see all of this for yourself so you can read it on your own time, come over to the Dev Answer Thingy channel and you will see it all right here. So hopefully this video did help you, and I just please, if I got something wrong inside the comments, just say it. And if I see it, I'll just pin it. Also, one thing that I do want to say is shout out to Lasone. She also kind of gave me the idea to make this video by telling me about some of the information that was presented by For You inside the description that I didn't even know myself. So hey, thank you Lasone for giving me the idea to also make this video. So hopefully you did enjoy it, and if it helped you, feel free to like the video. And good luck getting a Tori, because it's still going for all-seeing eye inside the market.